Hello, this is Big Los, and welcome to my next side LP. This game is a remake of a Game Boy classic, known in the US as Final Fantasy Legend II. I played that game endlessly, although I don't know why this game captivated me so, unlike its predecessor or successor, Final Fantasy Legends 1 and 3. Square Enix released this game in Japan for the Nintendo DS in 2009, but felt the market wasn't strong enough to warrant an international release. So, as usual when it comes to cool things Japanese, we are S.O.L here stateside. However, a fan translation group named Crimson Nocturnal took the time to translate every bit of text, and that is what I'm playing here for your enjoyment. Crimson Nocturnal did the SaGa fan community a great service, but unfortunately, they folded up shop in mid-2011 due to extreme nagging and trolling by fans, according to a farewell message on their website. Now, I don't know if anyone from the Crimson Nocturnal group would watch this, but if by chance you are, thank you. I really appreciate this game, and I really wish that you would continue doing the SaGa 3 translation. Don't listen to those people. Come on. I mean, did you really have to cop out like that? Okay. Now, anyways, this introduction, if you played the original Final Fantasy Legend 2, all these scenes will look familiar to you. So, if you're ready to join me, let's play SaGa 2, Hihou Densetsu, Legend of the Relics. Goddesses of Destiny. Gee, how many subtitles does this game have, by the way? Alright, so we're going to start the game from scratch. Relics, also known as Magi in the original. The inheritance of the ancient gods. They who created the worlds. Used as a symbol to showcase the gods' power. Countless souls have been lost in the wars fought to claim them. Some obtained what they sought while others died in vain. Now, another saga is about to begin. Now that's funny about died in vain. I remember if you used explode on a boss in the original, it would say died in vain because the boss wouldn't die. Okay, so here we get to choose our character. So we can choose a human male or female, Esper male or female, a robot or a monster. So I'm going to do a human male. And by the way, the Espers correspond to mutants in the original Final Fantasy Legend 2. So you get 4 different types of character models, and then from that you have 4 different type of colors. So we're just gonna input a name, and as you can tell, guess what my favorite game is of all time. Just based on that name. And if you can, I guess I'll have to drop some other subtle hints. And who's this guy, and why is he standing over my bed? Oh, Dad? What is it? Going to be away for a while. There's something I want you to have. Ah, but I'm sleepy. Just let me sleep. What's that? Treasures, spirit mirror obtained. Ability to detect hidden treasures acquired. That's the same thing as Prism in the original Final Fantasy Legend 2. Yes, sir. Now, your dad in this game looks a lot like Indiana Jones, and that's intentional. Actually, he looks a little less like Indiana Jones in this game than he did in the original game, because he had Indy's fedora. And that's another thing. He jumped through the window in both versions. I remember that clearly. That was kind of weird. Now, I like the little sound effects they put in here. It's a nice touch. Having the mom chopping up the vegetables. Mom? I'm bored here. I want to go look for Dad. Yeah, well, how could you guess? Yeah, well, what are you gonna do while I'm gone? Because I'm gonna be out having fun in the world. How old am I supposed to be anyway? I guess it's however old you want it to be. I mean, if other Final Fantasy games are any indication, you can't be any older than, I guess, a late teen. Who's that guy, and why is he a giant eyeball? In the original, his name was Mr. S. I think it was because his name was Sensei. So they just translated that to Mr. S. Sensei, of course, meaning teacher in Japanese. Oh, okay, so we need to collect 77 of these relics, or magi, to create this statue. And apparently, if you collect these things, they give you special powers. So that means the more you have, the more powers you have. And the people who have them try to use them to become gods, apparently. So this spirit mirror or prism, if you use it, it'll tell you how many other relics are in the world, and there's many worlds we're going to be traveling to. Yes, I am leaving. Oh, you mean I don't have to go do it alone? So, we're going to take 3 with us. It's not like the first SaGa game where if you had somebody die, you would just go to like a tavern and recruit another one. Okay, so I'm going to do an Esper female. The Espers are magic users. They can learn abilities in combat. This game, there are no levels. You gain abilities by using abilities in combat. So I'm going to make her blue hair, and then I'm going to give her the name of another character from my favorite game. Okay, and then we're going to go with the robot. The thing about the robots is their stats increase based on the equipment that you give them. So the stronger equipment that you give them, it raises their abilities accordingly. So if you give them agility-based items, their agility goes up. Strength-based items, their strength goes up, etc., etc., etc. And the stronger items that you give them, the more their hit points increase. And then you can get what's known as a monster. And monsters, they level up by eating meat of other monsters that are dropped in combat. And there's a very complicated system, and I might actually do a video to show how it works, how the monsters level up, because it's a very complicated formula. And there are actually guides that tell you how to do it, and once I finally level up my monster, I'll probably get into it in greater detail. So let's just go around this town and check it out. As you can see, now it's in 3D instead of a 2D overland map. So it's more like, I guess, Final Fantasy VII now, instead of like the original Final Fantasy. Now the thing is about the equipment in this game, and I'm sure most of you have played the original if you're watching this, is you have limited uses of items, and there is a number that counts down every time you use it, and then once it gets to 0, the item breaks and you can't use it anymore. You have to get a replacement. Now if they're equipped on a robot, when the robot sleeps at the inn, the item recharges back to its full. But unfortunately, when you equip an item on a robot, it automatically halves the number of uses of that item, although you can reuse the item. Okay, so we get a potion from this guy who's, I guess, Shala's foster father. And potions are going to be useful in this game because they recover HP, of course. We're going to need them until we get the ability to heal magically. So let's leave town, but as you can see on the little mini-map on the lower screen, there's an exclamation point there, which means there's an event. So Mr. S, or in this game, Teacher, has joined the team. So he's going to be coming with us for a little bit. Okay, now when you're in the overland screen, the enemies will appear on the screen and they will chase you. It's not like totally random encounters where it's completely by surprise every time. You'll be able to see them and possibly avoid contact, which I feel is superior, actually. So if you want to avoid contact with monsters, you can. Although in some places in the game, it's hard to do that. Alright, so now we have Mr. S in our party. And if you press the start button when you're in the menu screen, your 5th party member will talk to you, although you can't go in and change their equipment or anything like that. See, now there's an enemy. And they'll chase you for a time, but after a while they'll get tired. And then they'll turn gray again. And then if you attack them right after that, you'll have a chance for a preemptive strike, which we just got. Alright, so we're fighting a group of 3 enemies here. Looks like we're fighting a goblin, an Asigaru, and a skeleton. Now, I'm not sure what an Asigaru is. I'm sure it's like a human that's, I guess, like a samurai warrior. Alright, so Shala learned the sleep spell. So that might be useful for lower level enemies. Okay, so let's give her that longsword so she'll have an additional weapon to use. Okay, that thing looks like a spider. So let's let it go past, and then now we'll be able to surprise it if it's not red. It won't work every time, but it did work this time. Okay, so we're fighting Daddy Longlegs. Alright, I'm gonna have Mr. S do nothing because that'll give my characters a chance to use their own abilities. Hopefully increase their abilities. Now, the only 2 characters that would increase their abilities that way would be Chrono and Shala. See, now Chrono increased his strength, and there's the meat. But we're not going to eat it. We're probably not going to eat any meat until at least the 2nd world. The form that Glenn the monster has right now is probably the best that you can have for this world right now. Being a baby dragon. Alright, so we're gonna go into this cave pretty soon, but we'll do it in the next episode. This is Big Los signing off. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.